Have you ever stood by the ocean, looking out at the endless horizon, and wondered what truly lies beneath the waves? We think we know our planet, but 95% of the ocean remains completely unexplored. What if I told you that in one of these dark, uncharted corners, a mystery unfolded that is so terrifying it was classified and buried by governments? A story that suggests we are not alone on this planet, and that the deepest parts of our world might just be the gates to another. This is the story of the Epsilon expedition, one of the darkest and most chilling real-life mysteries in human history. It all began in 1989, a clandestine American research organization, operating under the radar, detected an anomaly on the Pacific seafloor. It was a trench, an abyssal canyon that appeared to be even deeper than the Mariana Trench, the supposed deepest point on Earth. Imagine that for a moment, a place so deep it makes the bottom of our world look like a shallow pool. The potential for discovery was immense, but so was the danger. This wasn't just about science. It was about uncovering a secret the Earth had kept for millennia. To explore this abyss, they assembled a team called Epsilon. This wasn't just any group of scientists. They were the best of the best. 6 elite marine biologists, geologists, and engineers, handpicked from around the globe for their expertise and courage. Their leader was Dr. Edward Hill, a brilliant but obsessive oceanographer who had dedicated his life to the mysteries of the deep. Their vessel was the Orpheus, a state-of-the-art submarine built with experimental technology designed to withstand pressures that would crush any other craft into a pancake. Its mission, to be the first human presence to touch the bottom of this newly discovered trench. As the Orpheus slipped beneath the waves, the world held its breath, or at least the very small part of the world that even knew this mission was happening. The descent was long and arduous, a journey into perpetual darkness. For 10 hours, they sank deeper and deeper, passing through layers of the ocean few had ever witnessed. Finally, a message crackled through to base command, clear and calm. It was Dr. Hill. "All systems stable," he reported. "We are approaching the target depth. Strange geological formations detected, unlike anything we've seen before." The team on the surface felt a wave of relief and excitement. This was it. History was being made, but that feeling wouldn't last. 40 minutes later, another transmission came through. The calm, professional tone was gone. There was an edge to their voices, a mix of awe and, was it fear? "Wait, confirm sensor readings," one of the crew members said, his voice tight. Dr. Hill came back on the line, his own voice strained. There's something moving beneath us. It's massive. The sonar can't lock on. It's organic." Before Mission Control could even process this, the radio channel erupted into chaos. Static screamed through the speakers, mixed with the terrifying sound of screeching, groaning metal, as if the Orpheus was being bent and torn apart by an unimaginable force. Through the noise, a single blood-curdling scream pierced the static. It was one of the biologists. "We found it. Oh God, we found it. It's not what we thought." And then, silence. Complete and utter silence. The radio link was dead. The Orpheus and its crew of 6 had vanished. A massive search and rescue operation was launched, though it was kept entirely out of the public eye. Weeks turned into months. They scoured thousands of square miles of the Pacific. They sent down ROVs, sonar mapped the entire area, but found nothing. No wreckage, no oil slick, no debris field. It was as if the Orpheus and its 6 crew members had simply been erased from existence. The official, classified report concluded that the submarine suffered a catastrophic implosion due to the extreme pressure. Case closed, but for those who knew the details, the story was far from over. Months later, a small, battered black box washed ashore on a remote beach in Micronesia, thousands of miles from the expedition's last known location. Miraculously, it was the flight recorder from the Orpheus. The data logs were heavily corrupted, but the audio recordings were partially recoverable. What they contained was the stuff of nightmares. For hours, there was just the faint, rhythmic sound of the crew's breathing, the hum of the subsystems. But then, the final minutes, the terrified, frantic voices of the crew shouting over one another. And underneath it all, a sound that made the blood of every scientist who listened run cold. It was a low, deep, thumping sound, rhythmic like a heartbeat, but it was massive, impossibly slow, and resonating on a frequency so low it was barely audible to the human ear. A non-human heartbeat. When the audio technicians isolated the files and sped them up, they discovered something even more disturbing. Hidden within the low-frequency thumps were whispers, faint guttural whispers in a language that no linguist on Earth could identify. And then, one final, clear voice screamed in agony, a sentence that would haunt them forever. The wall is moving. It's alive. The project was shut down immediately. The audio files were classified top secret, and every scientist and technician who had listened to the recording was forced to sign a lifelong non-disclosure agreement. But it gets stranger. In the years that followed, nearly every single person who had direct contact with that recording vanished without a trace. Their disappearances were quiet, unexplained. It was as if they, too, had been erased for years. The story of the Epsilon Team was nothing more than a ghost story whispered in the darkest corners of the intelligence community. Then, in 2003, a Japanese deep-sea diver exploring a volcanic vent system far from the original search area found something. It was a twisted fragment of metal, clearly from a submersible. Etched onto its surface were the words, Orpheus Epsilon. But it wasn't just the name that was shocking. The fragment was covered in marks. They looked like bite marks, but they were the size of a human hand, arranged in a pattern that belonged to no known marine species. The analysis concluded the marks were made by teeth of an unknown biological composite, harder than any known organic material. So, what happened to the Orpheus? What did the Epsilon Team find in that abyss? Some theories suggest they didn't just find a creature, but that they breached a barrier. That the trench wasn't a geological feature, but an entrance, a gateway to another world, another dimension hidden beneath the ocean floor. That the living wall they described was the very threshold of that gate. Others believe they simply woke something up, something ancient, colossal, and predatory. A titan that had been sleeping in the dark for eons, and the Orpheus was like a firefly buzzing in the face of a slumbering dragon. The entity didn't just destroy the sub, it consumed it, and maybe it's still hunting for anything that knows of its existence. The truth is, we may never know, The location of the trench remains one of the most protected secrets on the planet, but it makes you wonder. The ocean is vast, and its depths are a mystery. We send probes to other planets, but the world beneath our own feet is more alien than Mars. So the next time you're near the water and you feel that strange, deep, rhythmic vibration through the ground, that thumping sound that seems to come from the very heart of the earth, don't just dismiss it. Don't dive. Don't look down, because what's waiting in the dark, in the crushing pressure and the absolute cold, might not be of this world, and it is awake. If this story sent a shiver down your spine, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The abyss is deep, and we're just getting started. The next mystery we uncover might make you afraid to ever step foot in the ocean again. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.